Welcome to you, Mother Truckers, your weekly pit stop for wild tales and fantastic stories. Today, you have shared some truly unique flash fiction stories with us.
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to diving in.
We're going to take a pit stop to explore two of them, Fangs and Freaks and Ghost of a Chance.
Okay, cool titles.
Get ready for a wild ride through cursed apps and monstrous teens becoming unexpected heroes and, well, a proposal that took a very spooky turn.
It's interesting how both of these flash fiction stories immediately throw you into a seemingly ordinary situation before veering sharply into the extraordinary. It really taps into that fundamental human curiosity of what if.
It really does. Okay, let's dive into the first one, Fangs and Freaks. It drops us right into that classic pressure kicker of high school prom.
Oh, prom. Always dramatic.
And the catalyst for all the chaos, something so commonplace these days, downloading an app. This one's called Transform Yourself, which, looking back, might have been a bit of a red flag, you know?
Yeah, just a bit. You'd think a title like that would trigger some alarm bells, right? But I guess the desire to fit in, or maybe a bit of teenage bravado, can certainly override caution.
Totally. So Carly clicks download and instantly, claws. Definitely not the prom makeover she was anticipating.
Not exactly coordinating with the corsage, no. And this isn't just like a minor glitch. She's fully transformed, forcing her panicked exit from the dance floor.
Right. Meanwhile, across town, Ben wakes up to a truly shocking sight. His reflection staring back as a hulking, scaled creature. Can you imagine the morning after that?
Oof. No, I cannot. The story then quickly broadens from these isolated incidents to a widespread phenomenon. It's not just Carly and Ben. Suddenly, news outlets are reporting multiple cases, fanged teenagers, winged children, even shadowy figures appearing.
Yeah, this rapid escalation creates a powerful sense of unease and uncertainty. It plays on that deep-seated fear of the unknown and anything perceived as other.
And it's amidst this growing panic that something rather unexpected unfolds. These newly transformed teens, now likely feeling isolated and scared, begin to find each other online. It starts with what's described as a desperate, rambling chat room, essentially a digital support group for the supernaturally afflicted.
It's a fascinating modern spin on the traditional monster narrative, isn't it?
Totally. Instead of being completely isolated, lurking in the shadows, they're using the very technology that might have triggered their transformations to build a community.
Right.
And from this digital space, something truly remarkable begins to happen.
Exactly. Carly, with her new claws, starts using her enhanced abilities to rescue people from car accidents. Ben, this massive scaled figure, is intervening in muggings.
Wow.
And Anya, who can manipulate shadows, is actually assisting the police in their investigations. These are teenagers who have become the very thing society fears, yet they are using those transformations for good.
Okay, so they're heroes, basically.
Well, here's where it gets really thought-provoking. The public's reaction is complex, a mix of gratitude and lingering fear. They're performing heroic acts, yet they are still seen as outsiders, as freaks.
Right. That really brings to the forefront the power of social perception. Even though their actions are undeniably heroic, their physical appearance continues to evoke fear and prejudice.
Yeah.
It raises a fundamental question about how we define heroism and the extent to which our judgments are influenced by appearances rather than actions.
And just when they might be losing hope of ever returning to their former lives, they hear about the app's elusive creator, a reclusive tech genius holed up on a heavily fortified private island.
The plot thickens. Of course there's a reclusive tech genius.
Naturally. They feel they have no choice but to seek him out. It's their only potential path back to normalcy.
Yeah. Makes sense. The sequence of their infiltration reads almost like a classic heist movie, doesn't it? Carly's agility, Ben's sheer strength against security robots, and Anya's shadowy abilities guiding their way. It's a fantastic use of their unexpected powers working in tandem.
Totally. They finally confront this tech mastermind, and his explanation is, frankly, well, shocking in its nonchalance. A social experiment gone wrong.
A social experiment, seriously. That involved turning teenagers into creatures. Wow.
I know. It does highlight a certain detached perspective that can sometimes exist, where the human impact of technological endeavors can be viewed in abstract terms, almost as data points rather than lived experiences.
Yeah, definitely. But Ben's response is immediate and direct. Fix it. A very human reaction to a profoundly inhuman situation.
Couldn't have said it better. But here's the real twist. The tech genius doesn't offer a reversal. Instead, he proposes an adjustment.
An adjustment? What does that even mean?
Well, this adjustment, crucially, is tied to how the public perceives them. As news reports begin to focus on their heroic actions, a tangible change occurs. Anya's shadows, initially described as menacing, transform into beautiful, shimmering wings.
Whoa! So perception literally changes their physical form.
It seems like it. It's a visual representation of their shifting public image.
Okay, what's particularly insightful here is the almost magical realism at play. The curse isn't purely biological, it's deeply intertwined with societal perception. It suggests that fear itself can fuel the monstrous, while acceptance has the potential to transform it into something different.
Yeah, perhaps even something beneficial. And Carly, ever the pragmatist, immediately grasped the implications. So, about that mugger ring, and just like that, the Freaks and Fangs Crime Patrol is unofficially launched.
Love it.
They leave the island not as outcasts seeking a cure, but as something akin to urban legends. Still different, still perhaps a little intimidating, but now needed. The story concludes with a powerful image of a frightened child finding reassurance in news reports of Ben's roar, no longer a symbol of terror, but a sign of protection.
That's a truly compelling resolution. It illustrates how something born from fear and chaos can evolve into a source of hope and security. It suggests that even those who are marginalized can find their purpose and be embraced, albeit in an unconventional way.
Definitely. All right, let's switch gears entirely. Completely different vibe now.
Okay, ready.
From monstrous transformations and accidental heroism, we now turn to a tale of supernatural matchmaking in Ghost of a Chance. This one kicks off with the universally relatable high school anxiety. The dreaded promposal.
Ugh, the promposal. So much pressure.
Right. Our protagonist, Alex, shy and dateless, utters this almost throwaway, desperate plea he'd trade his soul for a yes.
Oh boy, be careful what you wish for. And in a fantastic narrative twist, someone, or rather some entity, is listening. The poltergeist residing in the history section takes him up on his offer.
Huh.
This immediately sets the stage for a proposal that is going to be anything but ordinary.
Alex, bless his innocent heart, probably envisions some minor spooky occurrences, right? Maybe a floating invitation, a few flickering lights spelling out prom. He's likely not anticipating a full-blown paranormal event.
No way. But the ghost has a much grander and arguably more chaotic vision. The very next day, Alex's school descends into something resembling a low-budget horror film.
Ooh.
We're talking slime oozing from lockers, trophies emitting screams,
Oh my God.
and the genuinely unsettling image of eyeball soup in the cafeteria.
Eyeball soup. Okay, that's creative. It's less a romantic gesture and more
Ew.
a supernatural prank gone wild.
Totally. You'd expect his crush, Emily, to be utterly terrified and running in the opposite direction. But her reaction is just brilliant. She's not scared, she's fascinated.
Really?
Yeah. Her demand for explanations and, crucially, photographic evidence reveals a fantastic sense of humor and a real appetite for the unbelievable.
That's amazing. And the ghost's gleeful materialization at this point is perfect comedic timing.
Oh, totally. And Emily's quick-thinking negotiation for party favors from a centuries-old poltergeist is just inspired. It shows a remarkable ability to adapt to the truly bizarre and even find a way to leverage it.
So the prom itself transforms into this legendary monster mash rave, orchestrated by the ghost. We're talking drinks delivered by spectral tendrils, a conga line led by a taxidermy squirrel.
A taxidermy squirrel conga line. Okay, the sheer absurdity of it is just fantastic. It sounds like utter chaos, but also a uniquely memorable, if terrifying, experience.
Right, and the aftermath is equally extraordinary. Hashtag Haunted Prom becomes a global trending topic. Alex goes from the invisible, gateless kid to the infamous figure behind the most talked about prom in history.
Wow, it's a complete upheaval of his social standing, driven by entirely unconventional means. Talk about going viral.
Seriously, what's surprisingly charming, though, is that the ghost, when properly incentivized with snacks and spectral karaoke sessions, turns out to be a rather effective party planner.
Huh. Who knew that poltergeists had a knack for event management?
Right. It introduces this unexpected element of camaraderie between Alex and the ghost. It's not just a one-sided spooky deal. A strange sort of partnership built on shared and often bizarre goals emerges from the chaos.
That's actually kind of sweet in a weird way.
It is. And amidst all the spooky shenanigans, there's a quieter, almost tender moment on the rooftop. The ghost, somewhat reluctantly, restores the original non-haunted composal banner.
Ah.
And Emily gives Alex an enthusiastic yes, but with the hilarious stipulation that all future normal dates are officially off the table.
Ah. It's a sweet moment of genuine connection amidst the supernatural madness, highlighting that even in the most bizarre circumstances, human relationships can still form and flourish. And Emily's condition about future dates really underscores her adventurous and perhaps slightly unhinged personality. I like her style.
Me too. But the favor the ghost initially requested is still outstanding, and it's not some grand spectral task this ancient spirit wants. TikTok lessons.
Get out! TikTok lessons for a ghost!
Apparently. Even ghosts feel the pressure to stay relevant in the spectral realm, it seems.
Okay, the final image of Alex patiently teaching a centuries-old ghost the latest viral dance trends is just comedic gold. It perfectly encapsulates the story's delightful blend of the supernatural and the utterly mundane, the disastrous and the surprisingly heartwarming.
Absolutely. It illustrates how even the most ill-conceived plans can lead to the most unexpected and unforgettable adventures.
Definitely. So, what do you make of these wild flash fiction stories? Two incredibly different scenarios, yet both explore fascinating themes of unexpected transformation and finding your place in the world.
Even if that means sprouting scales or befriending a poltergeist.
Right.
In Fangs and Freaks, we see how public perception can literally shape reality, turning fear into something almost heroic.
Yeah, and in Ghost of a Chance, desperation leads to a high school experience that is both legendary and terrifyingly fun. It's interesting to consider how both of these narratives take something very ordinary, the anxieties of high school, the desire to fit in, the pressure of prom, and inject the truly extraordinary.
Hmm. It makes you think about the power of storytelling, both within these fictional worlds and in our own lives. How do we interpret the unexpected events that happen to us? And how do those interpretations, in turn, shape the possibilities that unfold?
That's a great point. It sort of shapes our own narrative, doesn't it?
Exactly. This raises a compelling question for you, the listeners, to ponder this week. If you suddenly found yourself with unusual abilities or in a truly bizarre situation, how would you navigate it? Would you embrace the strangeness, like Carly and her crew, or find the humor in the chaos, like Alex?
Good question. Lean in or laugh it off.
Give that some thought as you go about your week, and be sure to tune in next time for more captivating mysteries from the world of flash fiction right here on You Mother Truckers. Rate and follow for more wild tales and fantastic stories.